Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. I'm up here talking a little bit with Bruce, and we're having a little discussion on what it is that he likes and what it is that he doesn't. And it seems that he is not attacking any of these items. Power poles, refineries, or assembling machines, not refineries. I would assume refiners would be in the same category. Yeah, he's perfectly happy for those to be there. I'm wondering about, like, a gun turret, though. Is he going to target that? Yes, he is. Which is about what I would assume. I'm assuming that probably a radar would fall in that category as well. I seem to think that these are, like, all toggled, like, military buildings. Yeah, so he seems to want to target any of those, but anything like an assembly machine or belts, he's perfectly happy just to leave those alone. Which is good. Which is really, really good. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pick this stuff up if he will let us. I just don't really need it up here, and I want to go ahead and gather it up. See if we can do this without dying. Yeah, there we go. Good, Bruce. So yeah, I think we're going to be able to run power poles. We're going to be able to move all this stuff up. We're going to be able to create another line of power, and Bruce is not going to mess with that at all. This is the important stuff you need to know about in in Factorio, is what the worms will attack and what they will not. The sushi science is doing okay. We're not researching anything right now, but we do have the gray science out on the line, the military science out on the line, and it's loaded in the machines, ready to go. We are on 17.5. That is the version that I'm currently playing on. One of the big changes in that version is that mining productivity was changed in the way that it works. There used to be several of them, and they each had a 2% increase for your mining productivity. There's now less of them, and there is a 10% increase on that. There is only 3 levels, basically, before you get to the infinite science. And I don't remember how many there were before, just off the top of my head, but I do know there were a lot of them. So that's good. A lot of the science is being consolidated in this version. For example, that, or like with the projectile damage, bullet damage, gun turret damage, and shotgun shell damage. Those all used to be different items, as well as bullet shooting speed, shotgun shell speed. These two right here represented 6 different sciences, all in different tiers, and those are all condensed together. And that is good. We need to research something. Let's do that. Laser turrets. Use some of our military science. Sounds good. And let's just grab what's up here. It totally doesn't matter. Logistics slot, sure, why not? Cliff, yeah. I hate to say it, but I'm kind of not impressed by the research queue. It took me a while, because I thought it would be really cool, but it's just kind of delaying the inevitable. My problem with the science is that it seems like you go through it too quickly. I'm always so far ahead with the science, that there's not a meaningful choice here. There is nothing right here that we currently need. There's some nice to haves, but nothing that we just like urgently need. The stuff that we need to build, we've already researched, and it's been researched for a while. And I don't know, it's kind of I don't know, it may just be me. Maybe I build my factories too slow. Maybe I shouldn't have spent so much time working on this big mall and should work on other things. I'm not sure. It's just my perception has always been that the science is always so far ahead that the choice that you make here for what to research really doesn't matter. You're fine just selecting what's in the upper left-hand corner and hitting research just to research everything. You need to research everything, right? That's the goal. Just research something. Just keep researching. That's why I like the auto research mod so much. Anyway, I'm going to end that rant for now, and let's. We got to think about. I've been thinking about getting water here to concrete so that we could start making that. And I think the way that would probably be best would be if we took water maybe from up here and ran it down here and down the fluid bus, which we have running right there. I think that's going to make the most sense. Because water, you know, it's one of those things that you don't get a whole lot on a map. And it's good to have it on the bus. And I don't see another place where we could possibly get water for the concrete machines that are right here. Rather than running it down on the bus. So let's grab some pipe. We'll get to the top of the bus, and we'll start running some water from up there, where it's accessible. All right, I came down here, grabbed some pipes. Let's go ahead and grab some refining things. And you know what? I have never really put a spot for refineries in my mall because they always required the level 3 assemblers, which by the time I have level 3 assemblers, I really don't need refineries anymore. But it may be something to think about now, since you can make them in the Assembly 1 machines even. Let's see, refinery. How many of those can we make? We can make 5. I meant to look up the ratio. I know the new refining ratio, perfect ratio for things is 10. Let's see. What are we missing? We're missing stone bricks. Hey, I've got some of those right here. Let's we'll go ahead and take those. Okay, we can go ahead and make 10 of them. That'll be fine. And while we're waiting for that to happen, we can go ahead and hook up our concrete machines and get those moving along. Let's see. I think I may need some chests, too. Let's grab a nice big handful of those. All right, and I don't have any of the lights or anything. I do have the power poles set up here, but not the lights. I've been working on a mod, and I just released that tonight, which is going to be, I guess, 2 nights ago, probably when this video comes out. But yeah, it's a lighting mod. I use lighting mods. It's one of my primary mods that I like to use whenever I'm playing. Because I record videos, and the darkness in Factorio is something that is really hard to deal with when you're talking about rendering stuff. You just have to. My Factorio videos, just to give you an idea. I mean, you may not care about this, but you can listen to me while I'm playing with my pipes here. Whenever the render settings that I use for a Factorio video are just crazy insane. The raw video that I produce when I'm recording, that's generally what your biggest thing is going to be, right? Just the raw file. You're doing a recording. The recordings that I upload to YouTube are actually larger than than what is produced raw. Do I have a no miners? Oh, well, we'll go ahead and make a miner. I want an offshore pump. Yeah, the ones that I upload to YouTube are actually bigger than the raw source because of the way I have to process them in order for YouTube to not make them look all pixely and ugly. Especially when we're dealing with like robots and darkness, it's really easy to upload a very low quality video to YouTube. YouTube does a lot of its own creative interpretation of what it is you're trying to upload. Yeah, the lighting mod. So I made a lighting mod. There's a number of lighting mods out there. Some of them are not maintained. The ones that I like really aren't maintained. So I was having to go through and mod them anyway. And some of them add a lot of extra stuff that I'm not really particularly interested in. So yeah, I just I did, and I wanted to learn how to mod. I wanted to do it. So I went ahead and made one. And basically it's a personal lighting mod that is just for the player lights. And it has some keyboard shortcuts to make the light bigger and smaller. And you can increase the intensity and decrease the intensity all through keyboard shortcuts. And yeah, that's you can also adjust the minimum time at which it turns on. You may notice that there's like a dawn and dusk period where your lights aren't on, but it's still dark outside, which is kind of annoying. And I put a little setting in there to adjust that time for your own personal light. And yeah, it's available on the mod portal. I'll put a link down in the description to it if you're interested. If you're not recording, it's not a big deal, but for me personally, good lighting mod is a must-have if you're doing a modded playthrough. Probably not going to see it in this series because I am going to try to keep this one vanilla, but that is available and will probably be used by me in the future. Refining. We have some oil here. We have some oil down here. We have some oil over here. I'm not quite sure where I would like to do refining. This area has water. We could do it up here. But boy, that just seems so far away. I like this spot right here, but my concern with it is that it's just too small. And we might not have enough room to go too far with it. Well, we could always landfill this in, though. And it's so close to everything, and, And we could get it started off with these three guys right here. Yeah, let's do that. I'm sold. I am sold. All right. Do I have some grenades? Grenades. I thought I had some. Yeah, right here. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of tree maintenance. Very nice. We got a cliff right there. I'm not... Oh... Oh, well. What's a little grenading if you're not going to take a part of your base with you? All right, so we need to fit 10 of these. Yeah, I think we can do that. Let's see. If we put you right there... Is that going to give us enough room? I believe it will. This is going to be our water line right here because of heavy water or oil on the left. Depending on your favorite way to remember which side the oil goes on. So that'll be the oil line right there. And we should be able to just run... that across like that. And yeah, if we need to move some, we can take some oil down from here, from our train station up there. And for now, we can run oil from over there. And I think that'll at least get us started until we get a proper train area set up. So 3, 2, I'm out of pipe. Where did all the pipe go? Oh, I made refineries. That's probably where it all went. Luckily, we are building this close to the mall. And this will be a little different for me because generally the very first rails I ever set up are for doing refining. And we're going to get by without doing that. Don't worry, if trains is what you came here for, we will definitely do that. I am a train liker. All right, that looks good. Let's see, we need to fit 10 of these in for the new ratio. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is going to fit just beautifully. And actually, I believe this little area right here, well, we might use it temporarily, but I think it's going to not be here very long. And I don't think we're going to be able to get a bunch of oil out of this guy, starting out at least, so we don't need to fill out the whole thing. So let's start out with 3. That seems very reasonable to me. Very un-Kitch-like, because I usually just build out the whole thing, but it's fine. It's just fine. those pipes, and then that will go that way. Let's go ahead and finish that out. And then these are going to need to come across. Boom, boom, boom. And we should be able to fit in an offshore pump there and an underground to fill out the water. I'm not even going to check because I am that confident. When has that ever come back to bite me? All right, so yeah, that. We'll throw some lights down. All right, and that will be our refining setup. It's 10 refineries, and I want to say with advanced oil cracking, is it 1 heavy oil and 7 light oil crackers to get a petroleum? Is that the ratio? I'll have to look it up before we get advanced oil processing, but I think just off the top of my head, that is what I was feeling. All right, so those are all set. Let's take a little trip over here, and let's get a deconstruction planner and just get rid of all those X's because they're kind of annoying me. And we'll head over here to where the oil is at and see if we can find it. Looks like we've got one right there. Yep. And the other ones are lower left and upper right. I'll just have to take your word for it. I guess we can grab a pump jack and that should highlight them, right? Ah, yeah, there we go. Ah, there we are, hiding in the grass there, are you? And, yeah, you're hiding under that grenade crater. That's a handy feature. That was part of the .16 update, I believe, where those guys would highlight. We used to have to hunt them. Just kind of randomly place the pump jacks around until they finally hit one. A very, very welcome change. All right, well, those are our pump jacks. I'm not sure how far they're going to get us, but they'll get us started at least. And let's definitely get some bullets down here. And yeah, we'll need to run pipe as well as a power pole. Oh, this is going to be just a nightmare, isn't it? Yeah, where did that go? Right there. All right, that wasn't terrible. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, take up, and just like that. And where is this? Let's go ahead and run this one down. And connect those up. This little oil icon here, I'm not a big fan of that. Because I know what it's doing. It's basically reserving that for oil because you can't mix or you're not supposed to be able to mix the pipes anymore. But I'm so used to looking at that and thinking, okay, that pipe has oil in it. Let's go off and do something else. But that's not what is happening there. It's not accurately reflecting what is going on. Like, for example, these chests right here, this concrete icon right here means that there's concrete in here. If there's nothing in the chest, like this guy right here, there's nothing in there. Speaking of which, why isn't there anything in there? Metal sticks. Oh, we're missing an inserter. So we could easily look at that chest and say there's no concrete in there. So there is a problem that we can now fix. With the fluids, not so much anymore. This one does have water in it, and you can tell because that. But the icons right there, that's suggesting to me that there's oil in there when there is definitely not. Boy, I'm just ranting this episode, aren't I? I need to go have myself a not specifically branded candy bar. All right, let's go ahead and grab some of these big electric poles because they seem like they would be a good, useful thing to have in this particular situation. And, yeah, let's just run it right there. New power pole model. It's very, very wiry. I like it all right. All right, take our big power pole just right to here. And let's use some of these small ones that we have hanging out in our inventory just to go ahead and get those guys hooked up. And that's an oil icon with a crude oil little thing going up and down, so we actually do have oil in there. All those guys are pumping. I'm not sure. Actually, it's not looking that bad. I don't even know if it would be useful to have pumps. I mean, we've got a perfect situation for a pump right here, so let's go ahead and do that. If nothing else, it prevents the backflow. Boy, that says it's full. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. We'll see how, once we get our refineries hooked up, how that'll work. And you could probably use a power. Would it be better to go up? Yeah, let's just go up. Now we can connect it straight up to the electric network right there. Okay, those guys are going to get a producing. Fantastic. Okay, so we need some things. We need plastic. We need solid fuel for these guys. And we have some cliffs right here in the middle of everything. We're also going to need some cracking areas. Let's go ahead and get those just kind of reserved. Boy, I think it's 1.7. I'm not 100% on that. Seven. That fits, but with not a lot of room there. What if we did? We could always landfill it. What if we did 1, 2, 3, and we can always move this pipe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I thought that wasn't going to drive me crazy. It turns out that it is. So we need to get that spacing. Oh, not going to be able to do it there. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Boy, I hope this ratio is right. Okay, that would work right there. And set some of you up for cracking, light oil cracking and heavy oil cracking should the need arise. And then we have all this space over here to build our stuff, which is going to be things like plastic that we'll need. And let's get down here in the light. I don't have my lighting mod installed. Plastic that we'll need, as well as solid fuel. All right, well, I think that works. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next episode where we get the refining stuff set up. We'll get plastic and solid fuel on the line, and hopefully get some red circuits out so we can start working on the blue science. And then what do we need? Engines. Oh, those aren't any. That's easy. That's easy. We can do that no problem. All right. Thank you for watching. See you next time.